going to give it a little bit of time, see who hops on. Hopefully there are going to be some people that will join in. There may be some people that catch this later on, which is totally fine. I just ask that if you're seeing this on Facebook, just hit hashtag replay. So that way I know who's seen it. Just helps me out. Anyhow, I wanted to do a couple different things this evening. Tonight is not the traditional free tarot reads, just so people are aware. This is actually something that is a little bit more guided in a very specific direction that I wanted to talk about. So I'm actually broadcasting on Facebook, but I'm also recording this so that way I can post it to YouTube as well, because I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the events that I have coming up, which is actually on Monday, February 1st, and it is a Brigid ceremony to celebrate Imbolc, or Imbolc as it's called. And I also wanted to do an energy forecast for this week and the beginning of February. So I wanted to kind of give people an idea. Things are changing. God, things are changing so dramatically. I know I really said to people to kind of be aware, the fact that, you know, things were going to change rapidly. And also the fact that things are definitely, things can change on a dime, you know? So with that in mind, I wanted to kind of take a look and see what we had coming in. We are going into Mercury Retrograde, which I know is not a good place for a lot of people to be in. It usually means that communication is all gobbledygooked. It also means that you know, you don't want to be signing contracts. You may have a lot of electrical or computer issues. So there's a lot going on. Plus, on the 1st, I think it is the 1st. Let me check. Let's see. Let me check my handy dandy. As a matter of fact, I'm checking my handy dandy from a friend of mine that gave this to me. We have a full moon coming up this Thursday too. So it's kind of like creating a perfect storm of stuff that's kind of coming in. So I wanted to kind of get a better read on that. And like I said, I also wanted to talk about Brigid and give a little bit of an explanation in terms of who she is, what we're going to be doing, so people will have a better idea what they might be considering signing up for with the Brigid ceremony. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just start out by doing the reading first, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so this, again, it's not the free reading night. This is just an energy reading of this week and into the beginnings of February, with the fact that we have Mercury retrograde. And you know, the full moon that we have coming up later on this week is there's a lot of energy in it. It's a Leo full moon, you know, so there's a lot of potency. You know, usually the January moon is called the wolf moon. But you know, this definitely has a strong Leo vibe and stuff going on with it too. So I'm actually using the Golden Girls Tarot cards this evening. So we'll take a look and see. And I know a lot of people have definitely been through so much already that there's just, it's kind of like, okay, what's the next chapter? So I just want to kind of see where we are with this. Okay. So just taking an overall look at things, we do have the Fool covered by the Hanged Man, which I find absolutely hilarious. The Fool is Rose in her own little leopard print outfit, and then covering it is the Hanged Man, which is actually Stan hanging upside down with his toupee hanging off. So these were what's going on, followed by what's covering us. So we do have some new things that we might be trying to embark on. However, we're being kind of forced to kind of get outside of our comfort zone. So if you feel like you've been stuck, if you feel like you're going nowhere, you're spinning your wheels, that is why. It's time to really allow yourself to kind of get past that fear, to get past that, oh my God, am I going to make this leap of faith? And am I going to be just fine? It's kind of like one of those things where we don't know until we try. Okay. We don't know until we try. So with that being said, we definitely want to allow ourselves the opportunity to be considering new things, to be open to new ideas, to be open to, where we want to go, and go from there and grow with it. There's a lot that we need to manifest right now. And I realize with Mercury retrograde, we might take things a little bit slower because of the fact that there's just so much strangeness going on. But my point is that we need to still keep moving. We still need to keep moving forward. Okay. So even though we're going into Mercury retrograde, even though we're going into a time when sometimes we are going to feel stuck and there's going to be disconnections, don't just kind of throw the covers over your head and be like, okay, I'm going to wait until the end of Mercury retrograde. No, don't do that. No. Allow yourself the opportunity to keep on moving forward, to keep on pushing. Just be careful and make sure you're using discernment in terms of what you're doing. Okay. So we have our ego kind of saying, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's not going to work. We need to silence that. But we also need to be smart about it. So again, I would not sign contracts. I would make sure that you are, communication is definitely going to be a challenge. So take that pause before you speak and make sure that you're speaking clearly and concisely, and that you are voicing what it is that you want and that you're trying to bring out. Okay. So just kind of take that step back, take that breath, and then allow yourself to bring your, what it is that you're looking for forward, your communication forward. Okay. So that's going to be critical. That's going to be critical coming up in this period for the rest of this week and into the first half of February. Because realistically, Mercury retrograde is going to be around for a couple weeks. Okay. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We do have some opportunities that will be coming in. And I think we are going to still have this kind of up and down and up and down. And unfortunately, 2021 is going to be up and down and up and down and up and down. And now, do you ride the times when you're up and you're playing it smart and you're allowing yourself to thrive, or do you focus on the downs? That's something to think about. If you're focusing on just the downs and how horrible you have it, then yeah, it's going to be much more difficult. So keep that in mind as well. Allow yourself to go with the flow. Allow yourself to still push ahead and still continue that forward momentum. But just know that, big decisions you may need to kind of take a slight step back or a slight pause on for the time being, if that makes sense. I know I just told you guys to push forward, but do it smartly. Just keep that in mind. I do see where there is going to be things are going to be really kind of thrown at us. I mean, literally, we're going to have stuff happen quickly. This is the Eight of Wands. So things are going to happen kind of quickly. And so just take that into consideration. I do feel like there's going to be more of a closer connection with people, with family, with feeling comfortable in your own skin. It just may be that you have to kind of look at how you do things a little bit differently. Okay. I do feel though that there are going to be some opportunities. You just got to make sure that even though something is not going exactly how you planned, really try and allow yourself not to get all worked up over it. Because I think if you get yourself all worked up over it, then it's gonna really kind of put you in a funk or a tailspin. Okay. So I love this. This is the Seven of Wands, and it's Sophia. So this is the Sophia. Okay. So just take that, just know that there may be some times when, and I feel it's more of an emotional or personal kind of going within, especially since a lot of people do have the seasonal depression stuff that goes on. We're going into snow tonight. I think that until we're really starting to see more daylight, literally, as the days get longer, I feel like there are going to be some people that are going to somewhat emotionally disconnect. So just make sure that, you don't allow yourself to get to that point. It's okay to go in. It's okay to, focus on what you need to focus on, some of the work, that internal work that you might be doing or contemplating. But don't overthink it. Don't allow yourself to get to the point where it causes you to, for a lack of return. Excuse me. There is a light, literally there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I got the Queen of Pentacles. So there are some opportunities that are going to be coming in. Just allow yourself to focus on the light, focus on the energy. Excuse me. Focus on literally the fact that we are going to be seeing more daylight soon, and that things will get better. Just keep that in the back of your mind. I am seeing the Hermit again. It's this up and down and up and down. So I think that people who go with the flow are going to be able to kind of just allow themselves to it's kind of like riding the waves. And if we're standing there and we're letting the waves crash into us, yeah, we're going to have some self-damage. Okay. So allow yourself to take this time to work through that process. Okay. Work through that process. I am seeing the Hermit again. I will say, we definitely do need to be, somewhat careful. We definitely do need to make sure that we are not going to those dark places. And yes, there may very well be some loss. This is the Five of Pentacles. And, many times when the Five of Pentacles comes up, there's a loss, whether it be a loss of financial, a loss of time, a loss of self-respect. So just kind of take that into consideration, the fact that even though life may be kind of throwing us some curveballs for the next few weeks with the Mercury retrograde, we still need to work forward, and we still need to make sure that we're going with the flow. Okay. So those are some things I definitely wanted to really stress. Some other things that came up. I'm hearing to really be careful with your internal speak. Okay. Really be careful with how you speak to yourself, how that ego side of you speaks to you, talks you out of things. So just kind of take that into consideration. There's a lot more that is coming, that's going to be coming to fruition for us. It's just a matter of how we weather. It's a matter of how we weather this storm. And again, there really is the need for balance. So the Justice card is coming up. And with the Justice card, Rose has the scales of justice. Okay. So I am going to say, during this time frame, really focus on making sure that you are well balanced, that you are really staying kind of middle of the road on things. It's okay to allow yourself the opportunity. to do the work on yourself that you need to do, and to follow your dreams, but we definitely still need to keep moving forward and not allow ourselves to get into these funks, which I feel is one of the things that potentially could happen to people, especially during this Mercury retrograde, especially during the first few months here of 2021. Okay. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. There are great opportunities that are going to be coming in. Here's the sun. You know, I feel like, again, it really kind of comes down to, once we have more visibility of the sun, we need the sun to kind of burn off this dark energy, literally. And I feel like when that happens, then that's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. I feel like people are going to be more apt to feel much more comfortable in their own skin. So for the time being, just do what you can in order to allow yourself to get through these times. I mean, I know there's a lot of different places that are calling it the dark times. And to some degree, yes. If people flip on the TV, there's a lot of craziness that's going on, you know, and literally right now with winter, we have less light than we do when we are working with summer, you know, and that's where the sometimes the seasonal depression and stuff like that can kind of creep in. The other thing I also wanted to talk about, though, is the fact that with light and with the turn of the wheel, we have a lot that is going on where we're actually starting, people who follow the wheel, people who follow the process of the different Sabbats and the different events throughout the pagan culture or the pagan practice, are gearing up for a great time right now. And they're gearing up for Imbolc, which is really the first flashes of spring. This is the time where farmers are starting to think about what they're going to do for the spring, what they're going to do, what they're going to be planting. Granted, there may be snow on the ground, but, you know, sometimes, and I know it's not happening here in New England, but, you know, many times in February is when we start to first see the snowdrops that come up out of the ground. The crocuses will start to follow afterwards as well. And with that being said, you know, those are things to start that kind of alert us that spring is just in the process of starting. So know that this is, hi Lisa, know that this is a time where literally spring is around the corner. We're starting to see the first fairly small glimmers or the flashes of spring. So allow yourself to take those as a message that, you know, things are going to get brighter, things are going to get better, and know that things will change. Okay. So again, we're going to be focusing on February 1st. It's actually a online ceremony to celebrate Imbolc, to celebrate the very first sparks of spring. And that is going to be happening at 6:30 on February 1st. There are seats available. It's a Zoom type of ceremony, but it gives people the opportunity to take this time to connect with Brigid, who is associated with Imbolc. She's associated with the spring. And she is a Welsh god, actually an Irish goddess, a Celtic goddess, who definitely can help in terms of finding those sparks, allowing us to find those sparks that we need in order to restart our cauldron, to restart what we need to focus on, to grow in our garden, literally, to grow in our psychological, our magical garden, if you will. So that ceremony that's happening on February 1st, you can actually sign up by going to Avalon Enchanted on Facebook, or even avalonenchanted.com. Click on the calendar, and the link is right in the calendar for February 1st. So you get your credentials and you get to participate in that ceremony. We'll actually be working with Brigid. We'll be learning about Brigid. Again, she is a Celtic goddess that is tied in with the spring. She's tied in with creativity. She's tied in with working with the arts. She's also the patron saint of blacksmithing. So literally, she's taking the fire and she's putting the fire back into our lives after this cold, dark winter. Okay, so this is a great opportunity to really allow yourself to see potentially what you can do, what you want to bring forward, what you want to focus on during this springtime to reignite your cauldron of inspiration, to reignite your cauldron of where you want to go. Okay, so again, website avalonenchanted.com, go to the calendar, click on the calendar for February 1st, and you can actually sign up right on there. If you go to Facebook, Avalon Enchanted on Facebook, look for events, and it's also under February 1st. So that will give you some ideas as to how to find the event so you can sign up. But I do have a couple. I actually have some Brigid cards, and these are actually a really cool oracle deck that I got on Etsy. So they're actually made by an artisan. I want to say she might actually be in Colorado, maybe. Anyhow, so I figured I might pull some cards, just literally see what Brigid says this evening, and to see what she might kind of say about, especially this time where we're kind of trying to figure out how to get out of the dark right now, you know, and also with this moon, also with this time with going into Mercury retrograde. I just had three cards fall out of the deck. So we had liminality, between times. So Saint Brigid was born at dawn, and her mother stood in the threshold of a doorway, neither in nor out. So she is someone that is very magical. And honestly, we have these magical times like dusk and dawn are magical times. We have magical spaces. So people who might go to the beach, that strip of land right between where the water kind of washes up on the shore, you know, like the wet sand that's always wet. That's a great magical place. Hedgerows, those hedge fences are magical places. So, you know, she is someone, so you are at a threshold in your own life. Take the opportunity to reflect on options before you. Will you step through the threshold into a new dawn? Allow the power of magic and clarity of this liminal time to support you. So again, she definitely is coming forward and is allowing us to kind of say, okay, it's okay to work with these magical times and to work within these spaces to manifest what we want to manifest forward. You know, one of the things that we also need to consider when we're manifesting, because I feel manifesting is going to be really, really important for 2021. Okay. So to manifest anything, you have to be on board with it. So this is going to allow us the opportunity to really see what it is that we want to be on board with. And we need to be aligned with it, both internally and externally. We may be vocalizing what we want to manifest, but we really need to physically believe in it. We need to be fully invested and showing up for it and 100% into it. It's kind of like you got to be careful with what you wish for, because when it comes, you might be a little bit, you know, unprepared or not expecting. So in this case, again, you definitely need to use these magical times to really kind of find out where you need to be, where you need to go. And those times she's actually can be very gentle to help us with that. She's also a goddess that's tied in with the wells and waterways. She's actually considered a local goddess throughout Ireland because of all the different wells, all of the different water sources that happen throughout Ireland. And in many cases, you know, water is sustenance. Water can be very emotional too. So this is a time, an emotional time, to allow us to get the spark and allow us to kind of start to figure out our roadmap for moving forward in 2021. Okay. We also had fire. So today, call upon Brigid, Lady of Fire, to receive a blessing. She is also very much about forging fire. Remember I said that she's actually a goddess that oversees the blacksmithing and so on. And so she is definitely a goddess who deals with fire. Again, we need to burn off this darkness in order to get to the light. Okay, so an area of your life exists where you are in need of transformative power. The power of flame. Call upon Brigid in her aspect of fire as you light a candle with this affirmation. And then there's an affirmation that it gives. So Brigid, Lady of the Fire, help me remember that the flame of spirit dances within me and gives me courage to face obstacles and embrace challenges. Allow this spark to ignite your strength and to ignite your power. Again, allow this spark to ignite your energy, to ignite your power, and to ignite your strength. And that's also said with what we want to manifest. So we need to literally light the flame in order to get on board and light ourselves to be on that train with what we want to manifest. Okay. The third card, and I'm just going to pull 3 cards of this, so because I wanted to kind of see what Brigid had in store for us. So this is a good one. Hearthfire, and this is for peace. So Brigid blesses the hearth and home. So she definitely, hearth and home is an important space in our homes. So bless the hearth and home with peace and protection. Each night our Irish ancestors smored the fire, asking Brigid to watch over the coals and to keep them alive until morrow. Kindle your own hearth fire in the heart of your home. If you have no fireplace, a large, well-protected candle offers the same intention. Light this candle each night as an offering of gratitude to Brigid. Receive her blessing and allow your hearth and home to be infused with peace and protection. You are filled with peace. So again, she's definitely trying to light a fire under us to also really allow ourselves this opportunity to let her, invite her in as a goddess that can definitely help us with planning for throughout 2021, especially as we're moving into spring, especially as we're trying to figure out where we want to invest our time, invest our energy, invest, in some cases, our money, you know? So this is a time to get on board, really do the work, finish up the work as we start with the very small kindlings of spring, and to really kind of allow ourselves to be aligned with where we want to go, what we want to do, you know? So I do feel that's very, very important right now. So have faith. This is a time where we might be sometimes feel like we're taking a leap of faith. And it really kind of comes down to determining what it is that you want, where it is that you want to go. You know, maybe it's something that you've been really thinking of for years, but have put on the back burner. Again, fire. But with that being said, this is a time for creativity. This is a time to allow us to have really open and honest conversations with ourselves while still moving forward. Okay. This is a time where we need to be all in, because if we're not all in, it's kind of like going into something half-assed. So if we're saying, oh, we're all in, and emotionally and mentally and spiritually we're not, then, you know, it's a difficult situation to maneuver, you know? So I am going to say, again, there is still space available if people are interested for this Brigid class. Again, the Brigid class, which is going to be on February 1st, starting at 6:30 Eastern Time, is a ceremony to learn, hey Ariana, to learn more about Brigid and to learn how to tap into her, you know? So this is going to be something that will really allow us the opportunity to dig in and make some inroads into really kind of making the best out of where we want to go, where we want to be, what we want to do. What is that going to look like? Have you thought of that? Have you thought about the next few months? Have you made any sort of plans? Have you been manifesting? That's important. It's kind of like we don't have instructions or a roadmap. Granted, we still need to go with the flow. But if we don't have instructions or a roadmap, how are we going to get there? You know? So, Brigid, or Saint Brigid, she's kind of the female equivalent of Archangel Michael, fiery, protecting, loving, clearing those who come upon her. She can definitely be a force to reckon with, but she can also be very, very helpful. So with that being said, I do hope that you will join me. We will connect with Brigid. We will go into meditation to connect with Brigid. People will receive readings with Brigid. And we'll do the ceremony. So I hope that you'll join me. Again, you can go to avalonenchanted.com, go to the calendar, click on February 1st, and the link will take you right to the details of the class. If you're on Facebook, go right to, hey Jill, go right to Avalon Enchanted on Facebook, click on events, and you'll find the Brigid ceremony for February 1st with the details and how to sign up. So I do hope that you'll join me on Monday, February 1st. And I think this is a great opportunity to really take this time and invest in ourselves. You know, companies do, when they're going into a new year, they do a whole plan, right? Sometimes they might need to make some modifications to the plan along the way. Don't you think it's worth making these plans for yourself? You're your own company, right? So, with that being said, I hope I will see you for the Brigid ceremony. And I just ask that you keep an open mind and an open heart and join me. I think she'll definitely come through with some beautiful messages for people. Okay. Again, there are dates still available for table tipping at A Touch of Magic. Some dates have been added into February, March, and April. I don't know if we've booked into May yet. I am also still available for tarot readings, private tarot readings. You can find out more about my tarot readings on my website, and then just message me and I can connect with you to schedule a virtual reading. I'm doing my readings virtually. There are still some dates where I am actually reading in person at A Touch of Magic. I think I'm actually reading this. Actually, I'm reading this Saturday at A Touch of Magic. And there are some dates, there are some time slots still available for that. So if you're interested, let me know and or contact A Touch of Magic and she'll tell you the opening slots. Okay. If anyone has any questions about any of my classes, Alchemize is still available. It's a one-on-one training session, as well as my class on Merlin, which is a one-on-one training session on how to connect with Merlin the Magician and how to utilize his energy and his talents to help guide you. Cool stuff. We also still have plenty of space available for the Intuitive Tarot, which actually just started, but you're still welcome to join. And there is a 6-part class. And finally, I have Ascended Masters class that's actually starting very, very soon, starting this week. So if you're interested in finding out more about some of the Ascended Masters, then definitely check them out. So please check back. Please also check out my YouTube channel. Please remember to subscribe, like the videos, share them with people. I'm getting a lot of really great channeled messages now. And so there's some that are up, and I know that there's some that are definitely still coming forward. I have a sneaking suspicion that there's one that's dropping really soon. I don't know who it is, but there's someone that's definitely been with me, trying to kind of feel me out if I'm going to be able to take on their message and deliver it out to the world. So keep that in the back of your mind and check those out. I will definitely let you know when they're available. Also check out the Etsy page for crystal crowns, as well as my oils, my Moldavite oil, my Merlin oil, my elimination oil, and also my Awen oil. There's also some new things in the works too. So have a fabulous evening. Take care. Be kind to yourself. And I hope to see you on February 1st. Thanks so much. Bye. Good night.